Caitlin Clark as face of the WNBA. Why any such debate is a fallacy. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way, and enlightened WNBA fans know better, but Caitlin Clark's image has changed during her recovery from injury. The rest of the league has caught up. This is all about that most tedious of sporting arguments, face of the league. It's an exercise in ignorance absent any understanding of what makes for compelling theatre, as if you'd better put a single name on that league's operation or deem it a complete failure. Conveniently, this would shut down Russell and Chamberlain Magic and Bird Chrissy and Martina Nicklaus and Palmer, or any other beautifully sustained rivalry that sent its sport soaring in popularity. Nobody can find an answer on today's NBA landscape because, thankfully, there are too many great players to consider. To even broach the subject in the NFL or MLB, you'd be laughed out of intelligence quarters. These are difficult times in the WNBA, with Clark, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Angel Reese and Paige Buchers all nursing injuries with unknown return dates. But with the bulk of the season in the books, it's time to score a clear victory for the league. That face nonsense is gone. Clark could only wish she had a say in the matter. Sidelined with leg injuries for all but 13 games and not terribly sound when she did play, she has numbers that rank with the league's worst: 36.7% shooting, 27.9% from three-point range, 5.1 turnovers per game. Check the scene whenever she appears, on or off the court, and there's no doubt she remains a showcase in herself. Clark is a full-blown star before the game even starts, a veritable magnet for fans of all ages and backgrounds as they try to get close to her. She doesn't try to be that person, she just is about to at her best unleash a priceless on-court combination of historically mind-blowing shots and genius-level passing. It's interesting though how the league and Indiana Fever have moved on without her. It's almost a blessing, said Fever coach Stephanie White, noting how the team's healthy players have drawn more exposure and familiarity with the system. Meanwhile, dozens of very watchable stars have stepped to the front, and if you check the numbers on attendance and television ratings, the people are still watching with full conviction. Heading into the weekend, I'd list Clark among 7 players as the league's most important. The others. How do you fit 4 people inside a single being? Heading into the weekend, Collier was leading the league with 23.5 points per game while ranking 4th in blocks, steals and field goal percentage. She's the doting mother of Mila, age 3. She co-founded Unrivaled, the hugely successful 3-on-3 league designed to raise salaries significantly and maintain the public's off-season interest. And as vice president of the Players Association, she'll be on the front lines of negotiations for the league's new collective bargaining agreement. She does this with more grace in her pinky than I do in my entire body, said her Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve. She is so graceful in everything she does that she makes it look easy. Check the above boxes on motherhood, 2 preschool children Theo and Ruby May, unrivaled operations and leadership in the fight for long overdue players' rights. When she gets back to full health, the Liberty will be on track for a 2nd straight championship, and Breanna knows the way. She won 4 NCAA titles at UConn and 2 with Seattle before joining New York. Great moment. When Clark climaxed a torrid shooting spree with a ridiculous make against the Liberty earlier this season, she made a goofy face at Stewart on their way down the court. Breanna didn't get all snooty, she loved it and broke out laughing. Sabrina Ionescu, the most devastating offensive force in the game right now. New York had lost 4 straight games when it faced Connecticut last Sunday, and Sabrina came out with a 36-point vengeance in triumph. Blistering drives, floaters, clever banks, offhand magic, mid-range brilliance, snappy passes, brazen 30-footers, all of it heavily contested. Nobody, even Clark, can match that brand of virtuosity. Ionescu has also shown an especially caring attitude toward younger players throughout the league. I know I can make a shot, but I continue to challenge myself to have perfection, said Ionescu, who basically lived in the gym all winter to work on every phase of her game. It's really rewarding to see my true self come out. The Queen. As much as her credentials reveal 3 MVPs, 2 championships, it's her basic nature that stands out. Players reach out to her kindly, affectionate nature, but the Las Vegas Aces center is a destroyer on the court. Clark couldn't believe what she was seeing during her rookie season, saying, "You watch AJA and it's just unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Whether it's her mid-range game or putting it on the floor, she's just so athletic. And she's a great defensive player too, great rim protector. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every night." Buchers. She is so unfailingly generous and focused on her teammates looking good, a lifelong trait that was especially evident at UConn that people have no idea how good she is. She's stuck on a lousy Dallas team in her rookie year, and her most established teammate, freewheeling Arik Augunbol, takes just one fewer shot per game. But it's a long life, and Bucher's charming, witty and perceptive off the court will eventually be first-team All-League. Meanwhile, as often as Minnesota's Courtney Williams shows infallible mastery of the open mid-range shot, Bucher's is reminiscent of the great Jerry West with her pull-up release and catch-and-shoot delicacy. Nneka Ogwumike, known to be something of an irascible sort, Seattle guard Skylar Diggins broke into tears at the podium after a recent game merely at the mention of Nneka's name. "I love her, and it's deeper than basketball," Diggins said. "Nobody around this league should take what she does for granted, because it's special. It's remarkable enough that this is her 14th WNBA season, her great Stanford career well in the rearview mirror. I think she's getting better with time," said Storm coach Noelle Quinn. "I'm just kind of basking in her excellence." For longtime followers of the league, it's a soothing experience to pore over her many records and accomplishments. But there is anger as well, over the inexcusable fact that Ogwumike has never made an Olympic team, the only WNBA MVP, 2016, to be so slighted. Please, that's not even possible. But if she and her fellow players have her way, there's a larger issue on the horizon. They want dramatic improvements in salaries, WNBA revenue sharing, and countless other ways as the hopelessly dated CBA gets properly revised, and Nneka is the longtime president of the Players Association. That all comes down in October, barring a blessed settlement beforehand, and Ogwumike intends to make sure that clear-headed reasoning prevents a threatened lockout. Can you imagine anything more ridiculous? A league shut down as it revels in runaway success. You've got some horrid blowhard on the management side bound to live in disgrace over spearheading that call, and Ogwumike on the other.